Our last section for this unit is 10.4 graph linear relations. And so two parts that you have to be able to do for this chapter is to graph a linear relation and to describe the relationship shown on a graph. So if we take a look at this example right here, Brenda has a summer job working for a tree planting company. She gets $10 for every 100 trees she plants. 200 trees, she gets $20. 300 trees, she gets $30. 400 trees, she gets $40. So here's my example right here. And I would call this type of graph a linear relationship because it's a straight line. So I can see it follows a direct straight line path. I can see that next dot should be right here. So some things to think about when you're graphing. It has to go up evenly here. So I can see every 2 squares is worth 200. So another 2 squares is worth 200. Another 2 squares is worth 200. On my y-axis, I can see each single square is worth 10. So every single square is 10. So that must mean that my x and my y don't have to go up the same amount. So it's fine that each line in my x is going up 100, each line in my y is going up 10. But they do have to go up evenly on each individual side. So this can't just go up 10, 10, 10, and then 50. It has to follow the same amount. In this example over here, we're talking about Dr. Seuss describing patterns in unique ways. He once wrote about a pup in a cup and 3 fish in a tree. So for this one over here, we have 1 pup is 3 fish, 2 pup is 6 fish. So following the same pattern, everything on the x is increasing by 1. And so if I follow the same pattern on this side, everything in this F section is increasing by 3. So that must mean I go 9, 12, 15. To write my ordered pairs, I'm just going to grab my P's and then my F's. So this would be 2 and 6, 3, 9, 4, 12, and 5, 15. So if I take a look at my graph, I'm going to try and graph this now. Usually my first column is going to be in my x-axis and my second column in the y-axis. So along the bottom here, I'm just going to label this is my number of pups. And on my y-axis, this is my number of fish. So if I go along the x-axis, I always want to start at 0 in this corner. And so I have to get up to the number 5. So if I count how many lines I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could just go up by ones. I could also make more use of my graph by just splitting up and skipping a line. But for easy sake, maybe I will just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I try and go up this way, same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I only have 10 lines, but you can see my biggest number I need to get to is 15. So something else I will have to do is count up by a bigger number. I don't want to go up by 10 and then graph off this graph because it will be a lot less exact, and I need to have my line as an exact number this time. So I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And then now I can start graphing. So the first ordered pair is 1, 3. So I would go 1 on the x, 3 up, and that's in between 2 and 4. Here would be my first dot. My second dot is 2, 6. My third dot is 3, 9, 4, 12, and then 5, 15. So you can see it should make an exact straight line going through. So lastly, to describe, let's describe what's happening. So in words to describe what's happening, I can see that it is a positive relationship. So a positive slope. So a positive one is where all the dots are going up. A negative relationship is where all the dots are going down. So this would be a positive, this would be a negative. I can see all the dots are in a straight line. And I can also see that my first dot, it starts at 1, 3. And then if I take a look at the pattern, I can see for pups to fish, it's always actually multiplying by 3, right? So my relationship is 3. So my y coordinate is 3 times bigger than my x coordinate. Okay, method 2, describe using vertical and horizontal distances. So for this one over here, same thing, I'm going to let the person know that I'm starting at 1, 3. Each point increases by 1 to the right horizontally, and it also goes 3 up vertically. So notice that I said 3 because it's worth 3 each time, even though it only goes 1.5 lines. If I look on the side and I read it, it's actually worth 3 units. Okay, last thing is describing using a relationship. So this is actually getting more algebraic, so getting back into our numbers and letters. First of all, we define our variable. So let P be pups and F be fish. Each time I would get you to graph PF. And the formula to connect the two would be F equals to 3P, right? So each fish, the number of fish is equal to 3 times the number of pups. Hopefully that helped and gave you a quick breakdown into how to do linear relationships. Just be careful, make sure you're always increasing by the same number on each axis. You're labeling your axes and you're graphing carefully. All right, good luck.